that I engage in. And that's why we're trying to build InfoWars with other great journalists and researchers so that there's different perspectives and different angles and different views on what's happening, because this thing is so big and is moving so fast. That's why I want you to become citizen journalists. That's why I want you to start your own websites and start your own investigative reportage and never stop, because in that action, we will find the leaders that will take down the New World Order, but not just find the leaders. Doing little things, overall, many hands make light work. And I know I'm stating the obvious here. It's just from the bottom of my heart in this Christmas season where we think about family, we think about Christ, we think about all the sacrifices of those that came before us for human liberty and dignity and goodness. And as we see evil exponentially growing and fraud growing and taking over, we also see that equal and opposite reaction in Newtonian physics of for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, and we are that reaction. And to be that reaction is to then be in the presence of God's Spirit, and that's why I feel so humbled, because we're all fallen. We all have that flesh nature, and that's normal to then feel when you're actually fighting tyranny and everything, to actually feel humble, because it's such an epic, huge task that we're all involved in. And that's why I want everybody to realize that I commit in the new year and this Christmas to be even more of a man, to be more focused, to be stronger, and to commit everything to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, no matter how horrible it is, because it is in that admission of what's horrible that we can then recognize what's good and preserve and expand and be good stewards of this planet and create a world where our future progeny can do things that we haven't dreamed of, just as our ancestors went through hell so that we could have so much liberty and so much wealth and be spoiled brats today. I want to transcend what this world's trying to do to us. I want people to break out of the trance. I want to break out of the trance, because we're all in a certain level in a trance of this modern world, caught up looking into the siren's eye of this whole media system. And so we don't have all the answers. Like Billy Corrigan said last week, we don't have to always even be right. Our heart's right. Our gut's right. We want freedom. We know when we read the headlines, not just at Infowars.com, but just all over the world and what we see in our everyday life. Report, U.S. ground troops clash with Islamic State fighters. Pentagon announces increased military activity on Russia's border. State rep slams sheriff for defending controversial MRAP comments against constitutionalists. Cop tases 76-year-old car dealer for driving a car with expired inspection sticker. I mean, this is the type of stuff. Bush versus Clinton in 2016. New World Order dream matchup being touted as inevitable. See, they tout all this tyranny as inevitable, so you just think you're not in the game. Fed judge, Obama amnesty unconstitutional. Obama issues executive orders by another name. A full-blown economic crisis has hit Russia. Tie all those headlines together. Ladies and gentlemen, we told you 3 years ago they were going to start a war on Russia's borders in Ukraine or Georgia. We picked those two countries. 7 years ago, I made the Obama deception. Or 6.5 years ago, we predicted the Afrikaner invasion under humanitarian claims because it was in Pentagon reports. We predicted the attack on areas like Ukraine. They're now cutting off Russia's gas pipelines. They're routinely getting blown up. It doesn't matter that Russia has its own corrupt issues. They're not offensively doing this. The Russian ruble has collapsed. Russia is in collapse economically right now, with George Soros at the head of it, bragging publicly that he's running it. Now listen, Russia isn't trying to take our guns. Russia isn't trying to bankrupt us. It's George Soros who brags he's doing it. When they're done with Russia, they're going to get us, and they're already getting us with our jobs to China and our jobs to Mexico and opening our borders and put cancer viruses in the vaccines and jacking with us on every front. Stop living in denial for new listeners out there. If you'll just look into the wild claims I make, you'll find out truth is stranger than fiction. It's really going on. I mean, just take what's happening with Russia. In the matter of a year, they've taken an economy that was growing and people that were upwardly mobile and embracing capitalism and freedom and promoting families and family values, and they've turned it back into a Politburo Soviet-style system because it's the only way they can survive. Just like the globalists attacked us through their radical Islamicists on 9/11, so that they could then take our freedoms in a response to that attack. This is the master plan, just like Army troops. We'll be right back. We're going to continue with this breakdown.
What disaster is so powerful, it unleashes a chain of mass pandemics, economic meltdowns, and violent food riots, all at the same time? NASA has already set the countdown timer, and right now the 21st century apocalypse is less than 13 months away. Former CIA Director James Woolsey says 2/3 of U.S. population could perish. In a matter of seconds, the world as we know it will cease to exist. The world's economy will be wiped out. Mass riots will follow. Ancient diseases will reemerge. How will you shield yourself and your loved ones from this upcoming apocalypse? Go to darkestdays.info to find out proven methods of protecting yourself, your loved ones, and even your entire community when this worst-case scenario unravels. That's darkestdays.info. darkestdays.info. Go there before this life-saving information becomes unavailable to the large public. Go to darkestdays.info now.
Hi folks, Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his 2-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Do you have relatives and friends that are convinced there is no need ever to prepare for any kind of emergency? Are these also folks you buy Christmas presents for? At 30dayfoodsupply.com, we can solve both of these problems at the same time. Go to 30dayfoodsupply.com or call 541-229-0010. We can ship your Christmas presents directly to them. Choose from our original $99 30-day food supply, our long-term storage vegan burger mixes, and other oatmeal, soups, porridges, beans, and granolas for everyday use. All products are non-GMO, MSG-free, and vegetarian. Most are gluten, soy, and nut-free. Call 541-229-0010 today. Oregon Trail Foods and 30dayfoodsupply.com keep prices low, cutting out the middleman by buying directly from their producers in Oregon. Remember, only $10 ships your entire order to the lower 48. Visit the website 30dayfoodsupply.com. Call 541-229-0010. 30dayfoodsupply.com. 541-229-0010.
He's going the distance. He's going for speed.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight here in Austin, and on the road we have joining us Alex Jones. Alex?
Absolutely. Again, folks, I'll be calling in tomorrow, probably in studio the next day. David Knight sitting in doing a fabulous job. I get so excited when I've been gone just a few days. And I think the one reason our broadcast has been so successful, out of many, but the biggest, is I am excited. I am passionate. I'm not in this normalcy bias, mass Stockholm syndrome. I'm going to take it attitude. And I thought about who we resonate with. You know, they call us a niche audience. Well, everything's about niche media today. Well, I don't think of freedom and private property and due process and family and the right to self-defense and men being brought up to defend themselves and women being brought up to defend themselves and police working for locals and following the Constitution and not starting fights and wars with Russia. So we can turn them into a bigger tyranny than we are. I don't call that niche issues. I don't call devaluation of the dollar a niche issue. But the liberty movement has been a niche. That's all these cynical corporate people see it. They're always, good job when I go to radio conferences and stuff. You really know how to work that niche audience. What I'm here to do is to work this audience into waking up other people to defeat the New World Order takeover that's happening because I don't want to be a slave. What is it that all the cynical corporate people out there cannot get? There's real things in this world. The globalists are enslaving us. The globalists are messing with the food supply. They are biologically and chemically engineering us. All the major BT crops kill 90+% of the rodents by the third generation. I'm going to say that again. The ones that live have tumors all over them and are mentally retarded. I'm going to say that again. Why do they test drugs and foods on rodents and pigs? Because biologically, rodents and pigs, pig hearts transplant better than baboon hearts into humans. They test on pigs and rodents because biologically, they're the most similar to us. What a poison does to a rat, it does to us. What a poison does to a pig, it does to us. And the GMO food that they are feeding all of us kill the lab animals. Look it up. Kill the lab animals. Now, again, Bill Gates has said he wants death panels. He said at TED TV Talk that he wants to reduce human population down to zero. We can play that clip. Everybody laughs because they're in the in-group. So call me a maniac. Call me crazy. You're right. You're right. BT corn from Monsanto in German, U.S., and Canadian studies has been found to explode the little guts of little honeybees and is the main contributor, that with frequency pollution, to them being almost 80% dead in areas of North America. Okay, and on average it's over 60%. In fact, the numbers are higher than that. They're always changing. Look it up. Is that alarmist? You bet. Because it is alarmist. It is a crisis. And that's all I'm trying to get at here, folks, is that I do this every day. So I get very familiar and comfortable sitting next to this data that is so devilish. And I take a few forced days off to take care of other corporate issues, family issues, you name it, that have got to be dealt with because we're going to the next level. And it makes me realize that I am becoming comfortable with it. And I think that's what this personal rant is about today. Before I get into some news in the next segment with David Knight, is that the news is even the best of us start getting comfortable with this, and I'm not going to get comfortable with my incremental soft kill. That's why the globalists do all this stuff, is a creeping corporate death. But the good news is a lot of corporate people and a lot of folks in the actual strata of the system are waking up. And I'll tell you who's really waking up. Our military and our police. I'm not kissing their butts when I'm the guy that wrote the book, quite literally, on the police state and how it was coming. We lost that battle. It came. But because we warned everybody, along with Jack McLam and so many others, that it was coming, now they listen to us when it came. And who do you think really listens? They go, my God, Alex Jones saw this 20 years ago. Jack McLam saw this 30 years ago. Oh, my God, all these General Parton saw this 20 years ago. All these other people saw this, warned us. Now it's coming true, and everything they keep telling us keeps happening. Yes, not because we're that smart. We have the documents. We publish them. We show you. This is a plan. So now I've converted over as I've got more sophisticated. Before I was like, how dare you be part of this? To now saying, hey, you better wake up. This will destroy your freedom as well, and they're listening. But meanwhile, they're trying to hire as many bad cops as they can, just like they, try to promote radical Islamicists so they didn't have an excuse to go into the Middle East. And they're trying to train cops in some departments to taser 76-year-old people that argue with them over an inspection sticker, so that the public then hates the police, and so that we then get in a culture war with them, and the globalists have just divided and conquered again. So I know we can win this fight. We come back, I want to get David Knight's personal experience, because I didn't plan this today. I'm going to get David Knight's personal experience on what this has been like for him, and does he feel humbled? And then sometime this week we should open the phones up on that subject as well. We'll get to a ton of news. Stay with us.
We're on the march.